Welcome to the Coach Toolbox. I'm your host, Dr. Ajay Nangalia, a leadership coach and counselor. This channel supports your professional and personal development as a leader with research-based and practice-focused learning. And we bring you the best career and life advice from guests who've been there and done that successfully. And now, our session today. As executive coaches or leaders, we often support our clients or colleagues change some of the ways of thinking or being that are toxic or damaging to their relationships and results. It seems that everyone is aware of the way this person is except the individual. And as their coach or leader, we need to recognize these 5 ways in which an individual can create their very own pandemic. And we need to support them with some treatment that will minimize the negative impact for them. But before we talk about these 5 viruses for anyone else, it's critical for us as coaches and leaders to work on ourselves. Remember the good old days when we could fly and the flight staff always alerted us to first put the oxygen mask on ourselves and then only to help another? It's the same principle. So I encourage you to first use this material for your own self-reflection, action, and then talk about it with your coach. This will then help you support your own stakeholders. And by the way, if you're a parent, then this discussion is even more critical for you. As before we proceed, remember to subscribe and follow this channel. And if this conversation has been helpful, then please do share it with your own connections. Now, the 5 viruses that cause an inner pandemic for all of us. And these are fear, desire, judgment, control, and illusion. Let me repeat them. Fear, desire, judgment, control, and illusion. These are 5 ways of thinking that you and I can have, and these 5 mindsets can cause us to have a dysfunctional way of interacting with those who are close to us, either at home or in office. And these 5 viruses can create a pandemic in our way of being and relating to others. Let's understand each one a bit more in detail, and then we'll look at how to manage them. Remember, the 5 viruses are fear, desire, judgment, control, and illusion. Let's start with fear. Fear is when I'm afraid that someone or some situation will hurt my well-being. Someone or some situation will hurt my well-being. So what are some of the fears that can consume us both overtly or even more dangerous, covertly? One of the fears is perhaps even more at this point in time during this COVID crisis. One could be the fear of losing my job or my promotion or ruining my career. And this can lead to insecurity and decisions that are not optimal, or even behaviors that can self-sabotage. Another fear could be the fear of health for self or loved one, and this can lead to undue stress and anxiety. Another fear would be fear of losing face or being made to look like a fool, of losing out to others, of not being the model of success that the media promotes. Or it could be fear of one's own emotional challenges such as anxiety or depression, and this fear it stops us from getting the help because what will people think? Now, all these fears become problematic when they move from a functional range that all of us have as human beings to a dysfunctional range. And in the dysfunctional range, they become chronic. That means they're just not going away. They are persisting, or they become intense. And by intensity, I mean that they start impacting the way we live and the way we work and in our relationships, and in ways that are perhaps not even clear to us. They become embedded in who we are, and then like a virus can cause sickness in the way we think and behave. The next virus we want to talk about is desire. Desire is the expectation that I have that others will do what I want them to do, behave in the way I want them to behave, or that they will meet my emotional needs. And we should all realize that this belief sets us up for much disappointment, anger, frustration, a feeling of betrayal, and so on, because it's hard for someone else or any other system to live up to my expectations or to meet my desires. Desire is also me trying to get something from another so that it benefits me. My pride, my ego, it could be my wanting my child to do really well or become a software engineer so that I look good, or my need to get a car or something that I cannot afford so that I look good in front of others. Most times, when we are not happy within ourselves or we battle shame or guilt, we have these desires that are not processed, and these then brew into a toxic potion that poisons relationships or causes faulty decision making. The next one that we're talking about is judgment. Judgment is when I make snap evaluations about the other person based on the faulty frame from which I look at myself. My own high standards of never being good enough then makes me look at others or their efforts as never good enough. And this could be the effort of my little child or my team member. I can camouflage my judgmental nature in admiration or humor or praise, but often the underlying emotion or intent is critical or blaming or being moralistic. And ironically, we judge others in the same way that we judge ourselves, often very, very harshly, and we may not even realize this. The next virus is control. Control. Control is when we get attached to a particular outcome either from ourselves or someone else. Control is also when I try and take charge of all the possible variables that are present in a situation and move it towards the outcome that I want, that I desire. And here is the illusion. When we get the outcome, we often attribute it to ourselves, completely ignoring the role of all other variables and of other people. And the reverse is also true. When we don't get the outcome we desire, we blame it on ourselves, the circumstances, someone else, the boss, and so on. Also, for many of us, loss of control or the fear of loss of control can dramatically impact the peace that is possible in the present, and we transmit this fear or fear of loss of control to those around us, making their lives miserable too. So far we have spoken about fear, desire, judgment, control, and finally we come to the last virus, which is illusion. Illusion is a distorted way of looking at reality, at life, at our relationships, and almost anything else. We fantasize about how a real relationship should be, how an ideal partner should be, what the happiest relationship, marriage should look like, what the happiest career should look like, what the best boss should look like. And then through this illusion, this false picture of what should be, we look at what we have, what is, and then feel depressed or unsatisfied because reality never matches the illusion. So, therefore, rather than feeling grateful, satisfied, or accepting of what we have, we are never happy. And so many of these illusions are fueled by movies or Hollywood, Bollywood, and romantic fantasies, and now even more on social media. It's so much of it is an illusion. And these rose tinted glasses of our illusion prevent us from seeing the blessings of what we have and keep us ever longing for our fantasy. So each of these 5 thought patterns, fear, desire, judgment, control, and illusions, while not bad in themselves, can erode our emotional and relational well being. The danger is that most times we are not even aware of how these virulent ways of being are shaping our relationships and the way we respond, till the consequences catch up with us. And then we have strained or broken relationships, decisions that are not optimal, and the presence of this low grade anxiety and stress that ultimately impacts our health. So, what could be more effective ways of dealing with these 5 inner viruses? If we spot these patterns in ourselves or in our clients or colleagues, how can we encourage them and support them to break out of these patterns? How can you and I help ourselves? Here are 5 vaccines that can work with these viruses. The good news is that any one of these vaccines will have an impact on these multiple viruses. And if you use a combination of these vaccines, then you are well on your way to complete holistic wellness. And the 5 antidotes that we use to overcome these viruses are being attentive, being accepting, being appreciative, being affectionate, and allowing. Let me quickly repeat them: being attentive, being accepting, being appreciative, being affectionate, and allowing. Being attentive. Let's understand this a little bit more. So, a great place to start is being attentive to what's happening within oneself. Notice your thoughts and feelings and how you behave. Notice how your own emotions play themselves out in your body, either in terms of a headache or body pain or migraine or back pain and so on. Many strong emotions manifest themselves within our body, and being attentive to them, noticing them, is an important aspect of learning to work with your emotions. And unless we learn to be attentive to our own emotions, it's very difficult that we'll be attentive to the subtle nuances in the emotions of others. So, how do we do this? Pay attention to them and then focus on breathing deeply. Paying attention to one's breath is an amazing way to focus attention and dilute the negative grip of emotions. And by the way, ancient traditions which are there in yoga or even in Chinese culture of breathing is now completely validated by scientific research. Perhaps now at least we can believe in the validity of these practices. So the next one, we've spoken about being attentive. The next one is being accepting. An important aspect of learning to minimize the negative impact of these 5 unhelpful mindsets is being accepting. Learning to accept that there are some things in life which are beyond one's control. Learning to accept that things did not go the way one had hoped for. And now that things will never be that way. And these are really important journeys we must undertake. And they are journeys, they take time. And often it is helpful to work with your own coach or counselor to support you on this journey. It's not easy to be attentive and recognize the issues that drag you down, and it's always helpful to work with a trained and competent person whom you trust to support you get rid of these inner viruses, because they will be able to spot these thinking and being patterns in you, and you may not be able to spot it. So, learning to accept the things which are not or have not been is part of the maturing process that we go through. The next antidote, and here's a really powerful one, is being appreciative. Being appreciative. This means learning to stop criticizing and looking for faults at the granular level, and instead to be appreciative for what one has and to express this appreciation towards others. Gratitude or being grateful is the inner expression of the same feeling. Being appreciative is the outward expression. Now, here's the secret. It's very hard for us to be genuinely appreciative towards anyone else unless we first start with ourselves. So start being grateful and appreciative towards yourself. Stop criticizing yourself. Go easy on the hard standards and expectations that you've set for yourself. Most times, they are not likely to be your own, or they are outdated and not relevant anymore. Learn to give yourself some space. And as you start doing this, you will start being appreciative towards self and others and the ecosystem that supports us. The next antidote is being affectionate. Most human beings are starved for affection, and this includes you and I. Affection is demonstrating care and concern and kindness and compassion in ways that are appropriate to the person and the relationship. It includes gentle words, a smile, a hug, a pat, and so on. Being affectionate is expressing the inner love that we experience as we interact with others. And of course, we express it in ways that are appropriate to the person, the context, and the culture. And finally, the most important antidote, allowing. Allowing means giving or creating space for the other person to do what they want to do or not do what they don't want to do. It means letting go of your own need to control or micromanage and easing off on some of the demands that you make. And once again, you start with yourself first. Allow yourself the space and freedom to not be perfect, to not have the perfect house or not to be the perfect spouse or parent who does everything on time every time. Allow yourself and others to take part and to take responsibility for the messiness of life. Allowing also means giving our children space to grow, our spouses the freedom to be who they are and what they want to be, and we allow our colleagues the freedom to try out and experiment without correcting every step of theirs. So let's start bringing our conversation to a close for today. We've looked at 5 thinking patterns or ways of being that can dramatically minimize the wellness of the present moment for our clients, colleagues, and first and foremost for ourselves. These 5 viruses that can infect our being are fear, desire, judgment, control, and finally illusion. And we have 5 antidotes that we can use to overcome these infections: being attentive, being accepting, being appreciative, being affectionate, and allowing. Now, before we can support any other person, it's essential that we start the work within ourselves first. And as we struggle and learn to deal with our own patterns, it'll be so much easier to support another person. This is not something that we can fake. So why not start today itself? Good luck. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Please connect with us on coachtoolbox@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to follow, subscribe, and review this channel. Details of our ICF approved coach training programs and our services as executive coaches and coaching supervisors are on www.globalcoachtrust.org. See you in our next session.